Hello and welcome to You've Seen It Before, movie reviews, connections in mind, and welcome back to another episode in my reaction series to each and every episode of Season 7, the final season of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, if you've never seen any of my reaction episodes prior to this is just my short form reaction series where I give my brief overview of the episode as soon as it comes out, as soon as I watch it. What I thought worked, what I thought didn't work, and some analysis as certain plot developments and character arcs that may seem familiar to you and where you may have seen them before. Now, just to get this out of the way, this will be a full spoiler review of this episode. So if you've not seen the latest episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., please pause the video at this point and come back later. This will be a full spoiler review from here on out. So with that being said, without further ado, let's get into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 7, Episode 5, entitled A Trout in the Milk, which was helpfully announced to us in the new opening credits, which are once again in a new style, which reflects the time period which our team finds themselves in. In this case, our team finds themselves in the year 1973 to start out with, having followed the Chronicoms to the 70s, where the team, having rescued Daniel Souza from his fate in the 1950s, they now travel back to New York and try to reunite with Enoch in New York at the original club where they had first encountered the S.H.I.E.L.D. asset in 1931. Now it's 1973. The technology's updated, but the club is still there in New York. However, the timeline is not quite as they remember it, because Freddie Malik is now alive, despite the fact that in the original timeline he was dead in 1970. This is due to Chronicom intervention. They have now successfully altered the timeline, and now it seems that they've gone one step further in introducing Project Insight, which you may remember from the plot, a major plot point in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, a satellite targeting system to eliminate threats before they begin, sold supposedly as a measure to protect the world, but of course is a Hydra plot to kill off suspected enemy combatants before they're able to resist. In this case, the Chronicoms have been able to fast track in Project Insights to target notable people in the 1970s, including one Dr. Bruce Banner as a young child, who would, of course, one day become the Hulk. And I'm sure it's the fact that it's coming up in the 1970s is a tongue-in-cheek reference to when the original Incredible Hulk series was on air. So the S.H.I.E.L.D. team now has to deal with the fact that the senior Malik is now alive. Not only is he alive, but Gideon Malik and his other son Nathaniel Malik are also alive. Nathaniel Malik was also supposed to die in 1970 in the original timeline, but he is still alive, so that adds another further complication to this. So now the S.H.I.E.L.D. team has to deal with this altered timeline. They try to stop Project Insight, but of course the Chronicoms figure out that the S.H.I.E.L.D. team is there. They're trying to stop them, and they shift up the rules a little bit, where we now jump in the middle of an episode where we jump 3 years later to 1976, where Project Insight is now in the middle of launching, and the S.H.I.E.L.D. team is sent to stop Project Insight from launching ahead of schedule and targeting all these prominent individuals, as well as Yo-Yo and Deke are sent to find the Elder Malik and try to hunt him down and try to get his insights into what the Chronicoms are planning. That leads to a tough decision by director Mack, where he has a plan to flood the lighthouse, which in this this point in time with the altered timeline is now the base for the revamped Project Insight. And he hatches a plan for Coulson and May to infiltrate the base and plant explosives that will flood the base and get any potential loyal SHIELD agents out of the base while stopping Project Insight. However, the Chronicoms, having thought apparently a couple steps ahead, have placed Mac's parents inside the base, and Mac realizes that if he employs his plan, he will kill his parents and he will cease to exist, and therefore he aborts and he resorts to letting the Insight rocket launch and then launching the Zephyr, which then launches a missile to destroy the Insight rocket. However, even under cloak, the fact that the Zephyr launched a missile to destroy the rocket now exposed the position to the Chronicoms in this time, so now they painted a big wide target on their back, and in the meantime Deke is shot. Wilfred Malik, he is now dead at this timeline, and on the other hand, Daisy and Agent Sousa have now been captured by Nathaniel Whitehall. And in the post-credits scene, we see that he's trying to get in contact with Daniel Whitehall, who, in an apparent effort to try and transfer Daisy's inhuman abilities to him through surgery. So that's where we see the episode end. What I thought worked about this, again, I like the fact that the season's jumping genres between eras. I mean, we had the 30s era films, the 50s era films, now we're in the 70s era films, and the opening credits were very much like a Charlie's Angels Mod Squad style opening credits, that kind of cheesy crime drama action credits. I loved that part, and the fact that the Chronicoms are now fast-tracking history. I see a certain parallel between this and Stargate Continuum, which was the second full feature movie of the Stargate the series Stargate franchise after the Arc of Truth, not counting the original feature film, where the enemies of our team go back in time and give the enemy's knowledge of the future in order to fast track developments and put us at a tactical disadvantage. In that case, alerting the Goa'uld to the presence, the potential threat of Earth before they're ready, and in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s case, creating Project Insight 40 years ahead of schedule, and the fact that they're also trying to kill their enemies when they're either not born yet or very, very young, is of course very reminiscent of the Terminator franchise, and that is of course quoted by Enoch, or at least referenced by Enoch when he pulls up in the, I'm pretty sure that was a Chevy. I'm not entirely certain which car that was, but he gives the Consumer Reports a glowing safety review where he pulls up and says, "Come with me if you want to continue to exist." That's a fun little line, and of course a tongue-in-cheek reference that to the wink to the audience that yes, we know that we're ripping off this point and we're just having some fun with it. That's a sign of a good episode where the writers are clearly cognizant of the fact that this is of course the final season, the final mission. They're taking this opportunity to have a little bit of fun along the way, and I think that shines through pretty well. So yeah, those are my main points of contention on the episode. Overall, I thought this was a pretty interesting episode, pretty fun episode. Again, I was not humongously knowledgeable when it came to the 30s era films, the 50s era films, but now we're getting into the 70s era, and we're starting to get into where I'm more comfortable with personally, and I just like the feel of this of the 70s era and going forward, and so many cool looking cars, for crying out loud, and the set designs, they're to be commended with all that going on, all those different time shifts. I'm sure once they get into the 80s and the 90s, we'll get some period era things, and that'll be pretty awesome too. I just love the fact that of how they're handling this season, and I can't wait to see what they do going into the next episode. Though, judging by the preview for next week's episode, it looks like it's gonna focus a lot more on the modern components in the past time frame, meaning it's not going to focus so much on the past elements as much as it's going to focus on the future components. So it's going to be more focusing on the Chronicoms ships that are in the future coming back, and of course Zephyr. So it's going to be more future based, if that makes sense. All that being said, there's so much that, of course, the preview doesn't give. But overall, I was very pleased with this episode, and I can't wait to see how they progress this going forward, especially with the developments with Daisy and Agent Souza. How will Agent Souza joining the team affect how long will he join the team, especially since he was very reluctant to stay on with the team jumping into the 70s. How will that work out? All these things, I'm very excited to see how this is going forward. But what did you think of this latest episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What about my analysis? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did I miss anything? I probably missed something. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate whatever audience I can get. And again, if you liked any video that you saw on my channel, be it this video or any other video on my channel, please give me a like, share, and especially subscribe. I very much appreciate it. Be sure to look for my next reaction to next week's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next Wednesday, as well as I'm still looking forward to the day when we can get a major studio release in a theater, which is so far is looking to be Tenet, which is going to be on July 31st. So be sure to look for that. That'll be my first big new release review in quite a while. So be sure to look for that. Again, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. But just remember, there is nothing new under the sun. And yes, you have seen it before.